What's up, Average Dad fans? Welcome back to another video. And today is the long-awaited Take 2 video with the Vivo X100 Pro. Yes, with the release of the X100 Ultra already upon us, mine will be here tomorrow, so stay tuned if you haven't already, smash subscribe. Everybody's been asking me, is the Ultra going to be much better than the Pro? Well, hopefully I can answer that question in this video. Let's go. So as mentioned, I had the Vivo X100 Pro back in December or January. You can go back and look at the channel for the full review and first impressions videos. And at the time, I was super impressed with the device. The price was higher than it is now, and we'll talk about price. But to cut a long story short, at the time, the price was fine for what you were getting. Well, I now believe the price is almost too good to turn down, even if you've got a phone and you're looking for a second phone, and we'll discuss that near the end. But I ultimately said this was a fantastic phone. However, it did need a better display. It would have been good if they had a global version of the X100 Pro, and the cameras were fantastic, but 1080p on the selfie video recording and hit or miss on some of the shots on the rear cameras. Well, 5 months later, I am delighted to say that in this Take 2 video, no, the screen hasn't got any better. It's 120Hz, but it's set to Full HD and it can't be changed to anything else. Yes, it's a Full HD panel, however, if I'm being entirely honest, the difference between Full HD and Quad HD to your eyes or mine, especially mine, is basically unnoticeable. Where things matter are with the brightness, 3000 nits plus, I believe. I'm going to star an asterisk here because I can't be bothered checking. I've got too many phones at the moment, but I'll add it in post. I think it's 3000 nits. It might even be more than that. And the 120Hz refresh rate, which you can lock from 60 all the way up to 120, or you can keep it dynamic. For anybody that cares, I always set my phone to the highest refresh rate locked at 120 and the best screen resolution locked. I don't care about battery life. And for this phone in particular, why would I care? 120 watts charger included in the box, and because it's a global version, yes, we'll talk about that in a second, but it comes with the 120 watt UK plug. So that will charge my MacBook Pro and any other product I have super fast, and I'm delighted that even that alone is worth like 50, 60 pounds to me, having a 120 watt charger. So yeah, happy with that included in the box. Now, I mentioned it would have been nice 5 months ago if they could make a global ROM of the X100 Pro like they have done with the X90 and X80 Pro. Well, sure enough, they did. About 2 months after I reviewed mine, they came out with a Hong Kong variant, which is global because it gets a global ROM. And yes, while I don't use Android Auto, as you all know, for the channel, I buy a lot of smartwatches, and not being able to use my favourite phones with a smartwatch because they won't connect to a Chinese ROM is really the only downside for me. Well, this global ROM has everything. Smartwatch compatibility, Android Auto, no issues with Google Pay no matter what. It's a full global ROM, folks. No workarounds, no issues, everything just works straight out the box. So the display couldn't change. There is a global ROM, and the other thing I obviously wanted to discuss was the cameras. It wasn't even a month after my review and a month after I sold my X100 Pro that they upgraded the cameras with software. Yes, something I didn't think was necessarily possible, but clearly it is. They upgraded the front-facing camera from 1080p all the way up to 4K at 60 frames per second. Now, I record all of my A-roll, the talking head footage you see, and B-roll with an iPhone 15 Pro Max because A, it's 4K on the selfie and all rears. B, it's the most reliable phone to just pick up, snap a photo, snap a video, it airdrops to my PC, all that stuff. However, as I'm about to discuss, the most convenient and best camera on any device, including iPhone, now goes to the X100 Pro. I made that video yesterday. You can check that out here. You can watch it after this. I firmly believe that the X100 Pro has the best camera system on the planet. And notice I made that video just a day or two before I get the X100 Ultra because I believe that that will then become the latest and greatest. And I had a comment, and I don't know why this is coming up in my head, but I have to address it. I did address it. I had a comment saying, yes, but the Vivo is using AI and post-processing to give you those fantastic images. It's not a real camera. That's the same with every phone. This person was like on their high horse because they don't use a Vivo or whatever. They use some other phone. It doesn't matter. How they get there in the end is all that matters. And if this produces the best photos and videos and zoom, why? Just a random point. Your Xiaomi, your Apple, your Samsung, your Google, your any phone you have bought in the last 10 years relies on post-processing and some form of artificial intelligence to make sure that you get the best images. So yeah, random comment, but I just wanted to call it out in case you're thinking along the same lines, which I know you're not because you're smart, unlike this person. So yes, because of Vivo's software, because of that Zeiss T-Star coating and the Zeiss lenses, low light, nighttime, video, low light, anytime, just consistency. And I don't know if you can hear that, but I've discussed this already. If you've got this phone or any flagship phone and it rattles, that's a good thing. That's called optical image stabilization. It's hardware that means you get fantastic photos generally because it's only saved for the best cameras out there, like your Ultra variants. Now, the absolute biggest downside for me personally with the original X100 Pro I reviewed was the internal chip. And sadly, that can't be changed on this device either. It's the MediaTek Dimensity 9000S, I believe, or was it the 9100? Again, I'll pop that up in the corner. I just can't get with it. And I'm not the biggest gamer. In fact, I rarely game, to be honest. But efficiency-wise, every single Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, let alone 8 Gen 3 phone, for me, has been better for battery life and more efficient. The MediaTek Dimensity is not a bad chip. This is not bad battery life at all. It gets really good battery life. I just feel a bit more reassured with the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chip. And I hate to mention these two letters again in the same video, but AI features that come with the Snapdragon chips are just more advanced. The things you can do, like circle to search and other things, yeah, there's some pretty cool features that come with Qualcomm that MediaTek are just a bit behind. And listen, I know they do a good chip. This is not a bad phone. It has a good chip. I would just feel more comfortable, like with the X100 Ultra coming tomorrow, if it had a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chip. Now, the last thing I want to touch on before I talk about the price now compared to other devices is just the overall look and design. In my opinion, this is what I'm going for. This is what I look for. A massive camera ring at the back, circular, or like the Honor Magic 6 Ultimate, square is fine, but as long as it's kind of centered and it holds some fantastic cameras, that's what I like. The one thing this is missing though is I really wish a vegan leather edition existed, and that goes for the Ultra. There's no vegan leather back. A lot of manufacturers, especially in the Chinese market, are bringing out vegan leather variants, and I just prefer it. However, I'm aware that I'm in the minority when it comes to that. A lot of people like a glossy back, and most people put a case on it, which I never do. So I guess if I was to put a case on it, I could buy a vegan leather case, but yeah, I can't really be bothered doing that. Now the final thing to talk about is price. The Chinese X100 Pro back 5 months ago was around £800. However, time has gone on. Prices have actually got cheaper, which doesn't happen very often with costs going down. You can pick up the Vivo X100 Pro Chinese ROM. I don't have any globals in stock and I am not selling this one. But the Chinese version, if you want 256 gigabytes of storage, less than £600. If you want half a terabyte of storage, just over £600. Yes, for £629, I believe I've got. I should know that. It's on my own store, the Average Dad Tech store, link in description. I'll pop it up on screen how much it is. But yeah, little over £600 for half a terabyte of storage. Folks, I said at the very start of the video, that price is almost too good to turn down. To get the best camera phone for 600 and whatever pounds it is, yeah, a fantastic deal. And again, you don't have to buy it from my store. As long as you're interested in Chinese phones, I don't care where you buy them. Yes, it'd be nice if you bought them at the Average Dad Tech store, but go ahead and buy them somewhere you've bought before and you trust and rely on. I just want to see the market for these phones grow in Europe, the US and the UK. Why? Well, global versions. The more we buy these Chinese version phones and import them, the more likely manufacturers like Vivo and Xiaomi and Oppo are going to release global versions. And since we're talking about it, and since I've had 50, 60 comments about it, I think I will buy the global Vivo X Fold 3 Pro from India just to keep you happy. I will see if I can sort something with a supplier to stock it on the website. However, I do believe that the price is going to be around £1,500, which is 20% higher than the Chinese X Fold 3 Pro, which I've made 100 videos about. It makes really no difference. Unless you are absolutely stuck that you need Android Auto or smartwatch connectivity. Many people in the comments will tell you the X Fold 3 and the X Fold 3 Pro work just fine, perfectly, other than those two features. So I'm not sure because I just don't think the price is going to be right. However, if it's cheaper than £1,300, well, that's going to be bad for my site because I think the Chinese version's £1,200 on my site, which is the cheapest around, by the way. But yeah, if the global version is only a little bit more expensive, then I could not recommend that enough. Importing from India is going to be difficult, though. I think a lot of people are forgetting about that. No matter where you are in Europe, UK, you're going to pay heavy tax if you import the device from India. So yeah, if you do get it for £1,400, add on another £300 for customs. Anyway, this video has gone on longer than expected. A take-two video of the Vivo X100 Pro. Anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed this video, and until next time.